BLEZZ.
Yeah, man. Sometimes you will find yourself stranded on a deserted island, such as this one. Name your top 3 things that you would bring to this island. My top 3 things will be, number 1, portable battery pack. Number 2, my word. Number 3, my balls. Number 3, portable emulation console. Number 3, the OP-1. To survive in this magnificent nature, all alone, stranded on an island like the movie Casting Away, you need also to know the top 10 tips for the OP-1. It's amazing.
Sometimes with multiple beats on one tape, it's nice to remember what BPM they were on. As you can see in here, leave an empty bar or two, and then you use the built-in microphone, like this, like a voice memo kind of. For example, let us see, the BPM is 85, go back to the tape.
85.
Wallons.
85. 85.
Remember, now right here what we got is some drums. The problem on the OP-1 is we don't have an undo function to work with, like on a traditional computer system. What we need to do, or how we can work around this, is we slice the piece of the tape that we're working on and put it to the side. That way, if we want to overdub something and we fuck it up, we don't need to worry, because we have a safe one backup. All we need to do is press like this, Shift, Lift, to lift all 4 tracks. First now we need to remember to put it back down, so we also keep the original copy. Then we can skip back or forward where we have enough empty space to put it down. Now we press paste again. See, it still keeps it in memory so you can make multiple copies. Now you can go ahead and make all the mess you want. No problem. It's amazing. Now let us say you're working on drums, which is many times the first ingredient you're working on a beat. At least that goes for me. Obviously, you could use one of the many conventional sequencers, such as the endless sequencer, where you program your drums step by step and play it back like this. Or you could use finger, which is a set of different patterns, drum patterns that you can play back using the different keys. You could also use pattern, which reminds most of all of a traditional type step sequencer. It only holds 1 bar at a time though. Many times it's quite magnificent, but sometimes you might want to use another method, which is the arpeggiator. Now see here, you can play a bunch of drums like that, or what I usually use it for is just a hi-hat. You could twist this to shift the timing and do some trap type shit if you're really good with the timing. It's quite tricky though, so what I usually do is I leave out a part where I need the timing to be shifted, and I just fill it in one by one. But see this, you don't need to use it just for a conventional cool synth chord type thing. It can be very useful for other stuff as well. Oh my god, fucking this shit up, whatever. You get the idea, you know what I'm saying? Pretty soon after using the OP-1, you will get tired of fucking up your takes, making mistakes, maybe your gain is not right, and you're overdubbing and you're just fucking up the whole shebang. In that case, it's gonna be a most wonderful occurrence that you're already familiar with the different methods of resampling, which can be a lifesaver in these situations. There's several ways you can do this, and the first one would be recording directly to tape. Now for this method, we need to be making sure that we have at least 1 free track on the tape, so we don't overdub and make a mistake. What you're essentially going to be doing is recording the output whatever is coming out from the OP-1 will be recorded directly onto the track. How we do this? What I'm doing here is I'm adding a little bit of extra on the loop in the beginning and the ending. It's very good because why? Because that means when the track is rolling around, looping, you won't be overdubbing the same thing that's coming out from the output, so you won't be doubling the recording. You'll minimize the risk for clicks and pops, and you don't have to be perfect with it. So we go here, shift, press the microphone, choose our input, the ear. The ear is what we use when we record the stereo out. Now let us have a look here. Make sure we're on the empty track. Press the microphone to activate the stereo out. You see the ear there? It means on. When it's an X, it's off. Now it's on. All we need to do now is record what's playing back onto the empty track. Record. It's the most wondrous thing, this. Yeah. Okay, we got it. Now we have a perfect loop, but for our convenience, it's best to trim the sides of it. So let's go back to where the loop starts. Use the scissors, slice it, lift it, skip to the end, slice it, zoom in. I'm going to show you how to do that later. Slice it and lift it as well. Now we can go back to the original loop. You'll notice on this track, when we solo it, we're going to hear what we heard before. We mute it, we're going to hear the same thing because, yeah, you get the idea. Now what we could do with this is lift this single track to another piece of the tape, which is empty, where we have more room for playing, you know what I'm saying? Let the zombies and werewolves come out and play. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing about that no more. Takes me some time to scroll to scrub through this tape because I have a lot on it. Let's fast forward. Okay, now let's pasta it on one track. And now we got this track with our original recording and 1, 2, 3 different empty tracks to work with. Amazing freeing up of the workforce. The con of this method is you can only use 3 tracks before you resample. But the good thing is it's quick. It requires no moving or adjusting the tape to keep it on time according to the BPM. And you can also resample along pieces. Important! Always remember to press the microphone button when you're done to deactivate the input. Otherwise, you will keep overdubbing whatever you're recording with a stereo output when you just want to add more sounds. Also, keep your original tracks if you plan on tracking them out later. When I start off with the beat, I'll usually use 3 tracks for drums and resample them before I move on. When I'm done, I transfer everything to my computer system ordinator and puzzle it back together so I get maximum control. So you can see here I left my drums in El Segundo. Still waiting for me. So I can separate everything and mixing later. Yeah. Final tip for today, OP-1 drum util. Such a smooth operating way to put your favorite samples and export a file that you can throw onto your OP-1. If you have some favorite on your computer that you want to be using on the go, press here to export for OP-1 and you will save a AIF file, and then all you need to do is throw it onto a folder on your OP-1 with a USB connection. Voila. Look guys, I know I said I was gonna give you 8 tips today for the OP-1, but you're gonna have to hold your horses and wait for another episode coming pretty soon. Thank you for watching. Okay, bye-bye.